So strategically, God gives me a plan. Yeah. I go to Mombasa. I get onto the MASH. Hey, MASH. I love MASH. MASH. Hey, MASH.
Shelve that for a second. Let's enter this entrepreneurship thing. That thing has blown my mind. So what makes you want to go? Offloading the dead stock.
Yes.
Okay, let me come back then and ask. What made you get involved? Let me start there. What made you get involved? Why didn't you just be like, yeah, this be a shara? Like, it's anti you.
Why not? There's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. I was actually happy that my uncle exited, because it would have been a struggle for him and I to do it together. Two, it taught me two things. That whole experience taught me that whatever a man... I forgot something.
Say, we have time.
Let's scratch that. Before that, I had joined a multi-level marketing company.
What?
Called Business. Thanks to my friend Philip Olubengo from University of Nairobi. Philip and I were in high school together. Then we find ourselves in Campo together. And Philip, amazing guy. Beautiful, amazing orator. Amazing orator. So Philip joins a multi-level marketing thing that is selling, I don't even know what we were selling. I think websites. Those things were ahead of us. But we were receiving so much training. And this training was conditional. First, whatever your mind can envision, it can achieve. If you see it, if you believe it, you can do it. For me, I don't even know what I sold, but I sold some websites, some packages to some businesses. There was so much training. There was so much training on how to present. There was a lot of training on teamwork, because you're now working in a pyramid. It was a pyramid scheme, by the way. It was a pyramid scheme. So that helped me in terms of positivity. I remember one of the things that we used to say, if someone said hi to you, you'd be like, I'm excellent, I'm fantastic, I'm amazing. You know, there was just so much positivity on and around us. So when I saw this shop, I saw positivity. My mom is thinking, okay, now this is money, but I saw an opportunity that I can turn this thing around. But then I get into it, it's not turning around as fast as I thought.
But your mind is so brilliant. For you, you're looking for solutions. You're not quitting. And again, let me say this. You're entering a space that you are clueless about. But also let me add and say, I love that you've told this multi-level marketing story, because you're being taught sales.
Yes.
Sales is the engine of every company.
Yeah.
So, but where does your mind enter? I'm trying to figure out what makes you such a problem solver. I know people would be like, this stock is not going, I give up. You decided, you even looked and said, your uncle, I don't want to interfere into his business. I don't want to steal his clientele.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring friction, which is not what a lot of Kenyans would think. You decided the hard route of Mombasa.
I decided the hard route of Mombasa. But also Mombasa, because my mom was there.
Oh, okay.
So my mom was in Mombasa. So it was a good time for us to spend together. And I was like, since she's there, if I sell, she can be distributing for me during the week.
Ooh.
So strategically, God gives me a plan. Yeah? I go to Mombasa. I get onto the MASH. Hey, MASH. I love MASH. MASH. Hey, MASH. There's a gentleman, there's an old man called Hussein Mende. Hussein amenibeba. Yani MASH, they used to value our business so much that they would now, because of always being in the bus every Thursday night and coming back on Sunday, you begin to develop a relationship with the crew. And then half the time it's the same crew that's plying that route at that time when you're getting into the bus. So Hussein Mende, I'll go with him on Thursday, we arrive Friday morning, come back with him on Sunday.
Okay.
And he was like an old, like my father. He loved me so much. It got to a point I stopped paying the bus.
What?
Yes. He'll be like, msichana wangu, msimkatie tikiti. She sits, there's a place, now the new buses,
Yes.
They started creating some space. So they used to lie down for me a mattress. I will sleep. All the way to Mombasa.
My
I give
God.
the adventures of this life.
But
favor.
I hear you saying favor, but let me also say that it's you. Your personality, how many people enter a bus and don't speak to the driver?
Yeah, it's true.
Or even if we're regulars, just like, oh, hi, you go to the back, you put on your headphones and you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Number 2, you were on that thing Thursday weekly.
I was on, now when we go back to school.
Okay, let's finish Costo. Hey, this story of yours has a lot. So where we are in Costo is you've given the spare, you've taken their orders.
Yeah.
They've told you the different orders. You've also realized, oh my God, I can sell. Or there's a demand, not even I can sell, there's a demand for this product that I have that is dead stock back in Nairobi. So what do? You make the decision to, have you finished the dead stock? Like, explain to me what happens.
Okay. So as I'm speaking to the clients, I'm beginning to switch gears and our business is also beginning to evolve because now I realize some of the stock we have is not what they need. Because Mombasa that particular time, there were a lot of Nissans. So they needed decorating stuff for Nissans. So it was more of a Nissan market. For us, we were more of a
Toyota.
Not a Toyota, a fastener for all car ranges. So fasteners are the bolts, the nuts, the studs.
Yes.
All these things for all car ranges, including lorries. So that was the primary bit of our stock, which we still continued with. But then we started segueing to meet the client demand in Mombasa. So they're asking for lights, decorating stuff. As they're asking for that, my guy is checking with shops, because now Kirinyaga Road, there's everything.
Yes.
Yeah? We're getting good prices, we're buying, they're sending me some things. But now let me first speak about the first trip. So the first trip I go and make 22K. And I come back with orders. What that 22K did for me. First, these people bought from someone who doesn't know what they're selling. The validation, I just could not believe. My mom asked me, hey, how much have you sold? I said 22K. She was so happy because we had never sold that much money in the shop in Nairobi.
What?
Yeah, this is in 2 days.
The
next weekend I come.
And even before you go the next weekend, were there women in this market?
Yes, there were actually some 2 girls who were selling also.
Okay.
Who come from Nairobi. One was called Shiko, the other one I don't remember her name. But now the differentiating thing between me and these girls is these girls will go buy. They didn't have shops in Nairobi. So
they were brokers.
They were brokers, exactly. Now I started seeing the competitive advantage that I had. One of the competitive advantages was I had a shop. I had neighbors who could give me things on credit. And I had capital. Meaning, if a client asks for things far above their capacity, I'm able to consistently deliver. And I'll tell you why later on.
You could even give credit.
I could give credit. But then the credit terms were only literally 3 days. By the time I go back, I was also very smart. Now, this time I've gone to Mombasa. I know I'm a young girl. I'm selling to men. And quickly, I'm telling you, I didn't know it was the Lord. But the Lord changes my dress code. In Mombasa, I used to wear long skirts. From here till here. Long. No pants. Nothing showing my body. Because I also realized I'm dealing with men. Muslims and men.
Okay.
And I'm a young girl. And a lot of them are telling me, see, we meet after for a drink. So I needed to package myself in such a way that I'm avoiding this conversation. So a lot of them started thinking that I had a child. I'm a responsible young mom. They can hear my mom is around.
It was not even an option that they thought of.
No.
And this time you're single and ready to mingle. Okay, not ready, but
No, to mingle with those ones because they were super taken. I was just avoiding conflict. And I really thank God for that wisdom. Because the Mercy in Nairobi and the one in Mombasa, two different people, even from dress code. But then when I would go to Kirinyaga Road, my dress code was also mature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now you figure out, you've come back to Nairobi.
Yeah.
You figured out this demand that's there.
Yeah.
So now you've entered full running a shop now.
Yep. There's no turning back. And I'm enjoying it. Because now I have my own money. Isn't it?
Yes.
I've employed people. I'm beginning. There's just, once you discover an untapped potential and you can do the thing that you didn't think you could do and people didn't even think you could do.
Yeah.
Aside from my mom, honestly. Like the people within my environment. Even the neighbors in Kirinyaga Road, they'll just see me as like a young, pretty girl. Yeah. That is super validation. So the next week I go back, I now have orders of 50 Gs.
What? Yani, this story can't. But also thank God because your mom had a house there, so that's expenses off.
Yes.
Your expenses are literally the bus.
Yes. The expenses were initially the bus, because even the bus became free. Yeah, the expenses were literally the bus.
Even Nairobi guys are going to struggle to do this that you're doing.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, selling, it's not just about having the product that the person wants. It is the communication and the treatment. It's that communication that enables the sell to happen.
Yeah.
It's not just niko na hii kitu naitaka. It's how you then sell.
Yeah. And you see all this selling, I've been seeing my father doing.
Wow.
I've been seeing my mother doing. See, I've been in a selling environment. I'm now going to Huru Market. I'm opening the shop by myself. I remember when I was young, just to connect this selling story, I'm not taking you back, but I remember when I was young, one of the things, the way the Huru Market stalls are, is when you see a customer walking in, is you go to them and say, sema customer nikusaidiaje? How do I help you? So you're approaching,
inviting.
all these things. See, they're coming together.
You're in school without knowing you're in school.
You're in school without knowing you're in school.
So what happens on the second time when you go?
50 Gs.
Is what you live with.
Yes. Sales. I can't believe, I ask this other girl how much she sells. She tells me, she's happy, she makes 30. Good time, 35. So I'm seeing the advantage that I have. I have capital. And this capital is my mom is giving me capital for the things that we don't have. Because now we're beginning to sell many other things that we don't have because the client base is asking for more things, yeah? Do you know after 50 how much we went to?
Don't. 70?
Guess, 100. I never sold anything less than 150K.
What?
Yeah. But now, God gave me a strategy.
What's your profit on that?
Anywhere, it depends on the part.
Okay.
But it could be anywhere between 10 to 30%, depending on the part.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some parts that have little margin.
Yes.
But then also because of Mombasa, I think average was about 25%.
But you're making that in 4 days?
Yeah.
3 days?
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I come back and it's time to go back to school. Back to my normal school. But I'm loving the experience in Kirinyaga Road. I'm really loving it. And now I'm conflicted. I know I have to go to school.